If you've come to my site and you're looking at these videos, it's possible that you're looking into some kind of litigation. For the litigation, I want to give you a brief overview of the Maryland courts that I deal with. First of all, our trial-level minor case, no jury court, is the District Court of Maryland. Each county in Maryland has one or two locations. This court handles civil matters that are relatively low in value. Small claims cases, you get a traffic ticket you go to court on, it handles that kind of thing. Some minor felony things. Basically, it's the first level court and there are no jury trials. The next level up is our primary jury trial level court. It's the circuit court. That's where you go for everything else. Pretty much anything you can dream of can happen in the circuit court. If you take an appeal and you go to one of our appellate courts in Annapolis, you start with what's called the Court of Special Appeals. These kinds of appeals are done on written briefs with oral argument and no testimony. If you want to go higher, you go to the Maryland Court of Appeals. It is the equivalent of the state Supreme Court. It's been known as the Court of Appeals for a long time, and that's why we use that terminology. Actually, if you go online, you can see their proceedings. They're recorded, and you can also watch them live, watch the oral arguments live. That court you get to by filing a petition with the court explaining why it is they should take your case, similar to what's done with the United States Supreme Court. What you file is called a petition for writ of certiorari. That's a court order. The writ of certiorari is a court order to a lower court from the Court of Appeals that basically says, send the case to us. Now, the final court I want to tell you about is applicable to will contests. It is the Orphans Court. And the most interesting thing about the Orphans Court is one does not need to be a lawyer in order to be a judge. And as a matter of fact, in the Maryland counties, many of the Orphans Courts are led by 3 judges, sometimes all of whom are lay people and not lawyers. If you don't like the result that happens in the Orphans Court, you're given the choice of where to take your appeal. You can actually take your appeal to the Court of Special Appeals in Annapolis, or if you want a new trial, you can take your appeal to the Circuit Court. Now, one final thing I want to tell you about, it's a little technical. If you're in an Orphans Court proceeding, such as a will contest, and you want one or more of the issues decided by a jury, then what happens is the lawyers get together. It's typically lawyers, sometimes people are without lawyers, but typically the lawyers get together with the Orphans Court judges and they work up what are called issues to be sent to the jury in the circuit court. Those issues are then put into a court order and they are sent by the Orphans Court to the circuit court, where after typically a matter of months, a jury trial is scheduled. The jury answers the issues, which are questions. Was the person who died competent when he made his will, is a typical example. Having answered the questions, the answers from the jury are then sent back to the Orphans Court, where they enter a decision based upon the jury's answers to the questions.